Hi everyone, welcome you all. Previously we have learned strings, and we have learned in that chapter that string cannot be used for calculations, and today we are going to learn what are numeric values, literals. So without much delay, let's get started. Numeric literals can be classified into three different categories. First is integer. We can write integers in three different forms, that is decimal form and octal form and hexadecimal form, right? And then we have floating points. These can be written in fractional values and exponential form. And the third is we have complex numbers. Okay, so let us discuss one by one and see how to use them in IDLE. So I'm going to switch to my IDLE. Okay, here. So first of all, we are going to discuss what are integers. Integers are simple values. For example, let's say 90. 90 is a numeric value, and it can be a negative or a positive value. So all the values are allowed. Okay, now if I try to store some value in a and b are my two variables, let's say 901. Now if I try to use a plus b, so my value will be calculated and result will be 991, right? Similarly, if I say a multiplied by 2, okay, now you can see I'm getting 180. Okay, and if I say a divided by 2, then we will be getting 45.0. okay, if I say a double slash 2, see, we are getting 45 or an integer division. You can see double slash is our integer division, right? Similarly, if I say I want to calculate a remainder 10, so now you can see I will be getting 0. Why? Because if I divide 90 by 10, I will get 0 remainder. That's why we are getting 0. We can perform arithmetic calculation on numeric values, right? So this is how we can write simple numbers. Now let us see how to write octal numbers. Octal numbers. Okay, let's say print. I'm going to have a 0 and then small o, and then let's say we have 10 and what we are getting 8. Okay, so this is octal value for our 8. So this is a decimal value and we have octal value. Okay, how to write a octal value? You have to initiate it with the help of a 0 and o, and then you can specify your octal number. Okay, or you can get the corresponding octal value in similar fashion. I'm going to use a calculator. Calculator. Now if you click on it, and here I am saying that I'm going to 8, since it is in decimal, I'm going to convert into octal. Now you can click on this checkbox and it will convert into a octal. So you can see my 10 or 10 is converted into a decimal value, that is 8. Octal value have base as 8 and decimal has base 10. Okay, so now let us see how to write a hexadecimal value. To write hexadecimal values, what we need to do is we have to start it with the help of 0 and then specify capital X, then specify hexadecimal, that is FF. Okay, it will be 255 because the base of this hexadecimal value is 16, right? Remember HTML color code, this is according to your HTML color code. Let us try to see in our calculator. I'm going to use a calculator. Now if you say we have a decimal value, that is 255, and convert it into a hexadecimal, that is FF. Okay, so if I try to write 235 DC, okay, so this is my hexadecimal value. I'm going to print this one. Let's say print, it was 256 DC. Okay, so 0x 256 DC, right? Let us see what is the output. And in calculator also, if you try to use it in decimal, you can get a exact value. So in this way also you can write a hexadecimal value or an integer. you can use small x instead of capital X as well. For example, if I say FF, it is going to still work. Okay, but hexadecimal values contain 0 to 9 values and A to F. Okay, we will discuss hexadecimal values later in our session. Till now you have to simply understand that hexadecimal value can contain 0 to 9 or A to F. Now let us jump to our next numeric literal, that is floating points or floating literals, and let us try to write some. Okay, so any number having decimal part is called floating point. Okay, and we can perform calculation on these. For example, let's say 2.0 multiplied by, let's say, 5, it is going to give you to a 10.0. okay, we can store it 9 point, let's say 8, and let's try to multiply it by 2. Okay, see, so any numeric calculation is possible. It can have a negative or a positive value, and still I can perform calculation. Now the fractional values can be written in a exponential form as well. For example, if I want to write 0.58 multiplied by 10 to the power 1. Okay, 10 to the power 1. Okay, let's say this is the expression I want to write it. So what I can do is I can specify like this: print 0.58 e and 01. Okay, so you can see my first place value is 0.58 here, and my power is here. Okay, so if you write like this, you can see I'm getting the correct value. Okay, now if I try to write mathematically like this, I think this will be more clear to you, and see, the result are equal. So you can write exponential form as well as fractional form, right? But you have to remember, exponential form cannot have a decimal places. For example, 0.17 e to the power 2.3. okay, now see, invalid syntax. You can see we cannot have decimal values in exponential form, and we cannot have comma in between the values, right? For example, if I say comma, let's say like this, see, it's a tuple now. It is not a numeric value anymore. Now the last print is complex numbers literals. Actually, complex literals have two parts. One is real part and another is imaginary parts. For example, a is equals to, let's say, 2 plus 3j, and let us try to print a real part. Okay, a dot real. Now you can see we are getting 2, and if I say print a dot image, then you will get a 3.0. okay, now you can see a complex number have two parts, that is real and imaginary, right? Now the two other literals are Boolean and None. Let's discuss Boolean. Okay, Boolean has only two values. Let's say, for example, x is equals to, let's say, true, and y is equals to false. So Boolean can contain only two values, true or false, x or y, right? It should be capital Y, right? So you can see we have only two type of values, and the last one is a special literal called none. Okay, none, we can store it a is equals to none, and we can try to print this a, this will be none. If I try to check the type, now you can see its type is none, and if I try to check the type of our x, it's a capital or a small x, and then you can see it's a type of Boolean, right? Now we have learned all the type of literals. Let us recall what we have learned till now about the literals. Now we have four type of literals. Actually, first of all, let us discuss literal. Literal are the constant whose value cannot be changed. Second, then we have four type of literal. One is string literals, and that is single line anything inside single quote is called a string. Okay, these are the just a example of a string. Okay, anything, any symbol, anything inside the single or a double quote is your string. And string can be of a multi-line if we try to use a triple values like this. So this is your multi-line string. Okay, now the second type of literal was our numeric literals, and these were first of all integers, and integer can be classified into decimal, positive or negative numeric value without decimal places like 9, -9 or 371. Okay, or negative values, right? And then we have octal values, octal numbers or integers, and these were started with 0, and then we have small o, then we can specify the numbers, and it can contain only values or digits 0 to 7. Okay, and then we have hexadecimal values, decimal values, that is you can write the hexadecimal value starting with 0 and then specify x and specify ff or cc or anything like that. It can contain digits from 0 to 9 and character a to f, right? And then we have float points or floating values, and these are written in fractional form as well as in exponential form. Okay, and then we have a complex number. Okay, so fractional values, anything that is having a decimal part, positive or negative, is a fractional value. And the exponential value, you can write the values in form of exponential, let's say like 8 to the power e10. So 8 to the power 8 multiplied by 10 to the power 10, right? And a complex number have two values, that is 3 plus let's say 7.2j. So we have a real part, that is 3, and 7.6 is a imaginary part. Okay, and the third type of literal is Boolean literal, and it has only true oblique false value. Okay, and the fourth and the special one is none, which signifies emptiness. It is neither 0 nor false or nor space. Okay, so this concludes our debate on the topic literals. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed and learned, and see you next time with new topic. So till that time, enjoy. Thank you very much. Bye.